Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel, and we talk about it in a positive way. If that's something that appeals to you, you know you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here today. Today also happens to be Saturday and the last Saturday of 2025. So I thought it would be fun to take a look at 5 of the best movies of the year. These are my picks for the 5 best movies of 2025. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so anybody can get up here and tell you what the worst movies of the year are. That's easy. I could pick apart every single movie I've seen. But what's the fun in that? You're not going to want to watch the worst. You want to watch what is the best. So I've compiled a list of what I believe are the best 5 movies of the year. Now, it's only my opinion because all film and all art is subjective. But I hope that you agree with my list. I hope you check these movies out. They're all in no particular order except for the last one, which is my favorite movie of the year. It is the one I have saved for last, so you're going to want to stick around and check that one out. So coming in at my number 1 spot for the year is Weapons. And Weapons is by writer-director Zach Cregger, and is his follow-up to his horror film Barbarian from 2022, which was absolutely amazing. And this one is telling the story of the night a bunch of students disappeared. A bunch of kids disappeared. They all got up and ran away. To what spot? We don't know. And what happens in this movie is so insane. This is kind of this horror equivalent of something along the lines of Pulp Fiction. They tell you the story from a bunch of different points of view. It kind of seems at times where it's not going to interconnect, but then they all interconnect in this wonderful way until you figure out what the secret is. But just because you figure out what the secret is doesn't mean the story is done. And this movie was so great to watch. This movie was definitely one of the best of this year because it was so drastically different from anything that I had seen before. And yet, it still had a lot of the same tropes. It still had a lot of the same types of vibes you get from other horror movies. It was just presented in a very unique way. Coming in at number 2 is Final Destination Bloodlines. Now, this movie is yet another horror movie, but this one is very cool because this movie is a sequel to the other ones in this franchise, except that this one gives you a bit more lore. This one changes the game just a little bit. It's still all these crazy ways that people are going to meet their end, but the story here is wonderful, and the characters are actually, at times you have characters that are likable, but there are some characters that I don't think you're really intended to like. The problem is that in this movie, by the end, I liked all of the characters, and I didn't want to see any of them meet their end in some horrible way. But it wouldn't be a Final Destination movie if that didn't happen. And this one delivered on all of the same type of things that make the other movies enjoyable. And it told a really unique tale as well. Coming in at our number 3 spot is Predator Badlands. And Predator Badlands is directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Now, this movie follows a misfit of the clan of predators, and he is trying to prove himself by killing this big, huge, monstrous creature. It's just there. This is the most dangerous creature on any planet, and he's gonna try to kill it. Well, he gets there and he meets this girl, and it connects to Alien and Predator franchises in this really cool way. Not to mention, it is actually very action-packed and enjoyable all the way through. It was one of those movies that I thoroughly enjoyed watching, and for that reason, it's made this list. I think that if you haven't seen this movie, you owe it to yourself to check it out. It is definitely worth your time. Coming in at our number 4 spot, of course, is yet another one that is not a horror film. It is James Gunn's Superman. This movie tells the story of Superman losing his first battle, fighting Lex Luthor, outsmarting Lex Luthor, and all this while everything around him is going a little bit crazy. Basically, he has to prove to the people that he is the hero that he is, because he at times in this movie even questions that himself. If what your parents tell you isn't true, then does that change who you are? And what is you as an individual? Is it the people that brought you into this world, or that sent you to this world? Or is it the things that made you who you are by experience? And it's a very cool, very bright and shiny movie as well. This movie is not the dark, brooding movie that the Snyderverse movies were. Now, I like the Snyderverse, but this was an exciting change. It was also a lot of fun to watch these actors take over these spots because they did great as well. I actually think the actor playing Lex Luthor may be one of the best Lex Luthors we've ever seen. Of course, Gene Hackman still has the number 1 spot, but he is a close second. And I honestly think if you haven't seen this movie, you need to check it out. Which brings us to our number 5 spot. And our number 5 spot is a movie that I absolutely loved. I saw it very early on in the year, and nothing's come close. It has this really cool little story that shouldn't have worked as well as it did, but it really worked well. And I think the acting helped, but everything about this movie was really good. It kept me entertained the entire time it was on, and it has that watchability level that the second I watched it, I had to buy it. So I actually own this movie after watching it only one time, simply because I knew it had that watchability level, and it's probably my most viewed movie of the year. And that is Drop. Christopher Landon's Drop tells the story of a single mother on her first date in years, and she has this guy that is kind-hearted and wonderful, but they take their seat in this really fancy high-rise restaurant, and all of a sudden she starts getting airdropped messages from someone. And those messages threaten to kill her child unless she does exactly what she is told. And what she's being told to do is to murder her date. So the whole movie, it sort of sets up this mystery. Who's sending this and why? And everyone's a suspect in the entire place. And you get to follow her on this journey as she tries to put the pieces of this puzzle together to figure out who is doing this to her and what they want. Because killing the date, that's all good, but why do they want this guy dead? And is she just going to go and roll over and do what they say? Or is she going to try to figure out why and save her date? And the movie delivers really well. It is exciting from the very beginning of the movie all the way to the end. It is one of them that I have to recommend that you watch. If you have not seen this movie this year, there is a reason I put this one at the top of my must-see list. And you owe it to yourself to watch this movie. It has wonderful performances all the way through. It might seem a little cliche at times. If you watch a lot of mystery movies and a lot of suspense movies, you're going to notice some of the same things. But this movie delivers, and that's what's important. This movie delivers a solid story that you might find you can watch over and over again and maybe even notice some of the things that you didn't notice the first time you watched. And that is always pretty good. But that is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. What did you think of my list? Do you agree with it? Not agree with it? Whatever you're thinking, there's no wrong answer. In fact, I want to know all of your picks for the best movies of the year as well. whether they coincide with mine or not. If I haven't seen some of the ones that you put on the list, then I'm going to want to check those out myself. So make sure you're leaving me that comment, telling me what you thought, and then make sure you're sharing this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of this conversation as well. Then, if you like positive content, you're going to want to tell the algorithm that so that they give you more positive content in your feed. It can't hurt. Go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're liking our channel personally, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell that's right next to it so you don't miss a single video we do. Because friends, at the end of the day, I know it and you know it. Fandom is family.